Cause you grew up with both your parents, right?
No, I'll tell you in a brief.
Had both of them more so like
they were around. They were for the first 6 years of my life. They was together in the same household. But we moved to LA. When we moved back to Chicago, you know what I'm saying? I was with my dad every weekend.
Well, from the stories me and you talked about over the years, weekend it seemed like you had both your parents more collectively than what I had. I just had more so my mom and uncles.
But life was still and shout out to the uncles too. Shout out to the uncles that we had. For sure. You know what I'm saying?
But I asked that to ask this though, right? Because
the Jerrys of the world, and I don't even my uncle, but that's my uncle.
And I'm not asking that to like be funny. No, I'm asking that to say because a lot of times, even in the relationships, our mothers still say these things because of why you can't even.
What you saying when the dad around?
Yeah.
But what type of dad is he? Cause look, we come from an era where. Hold on. I'm gonna say this because I seen it growing up, right? Depending on where you grew up at, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in the hood. So if your parents done went to church, or if your dad was trying to live a godly standard for what he was being taught, because church has been taught wrong for a long time in the past, you know what I'm saying? Like it really has. But at the same time, there was still some standards and good moral compass. Even though some of the doctrine or whatever was being taught wrong, there were still standards and there was a moral compass that came along with that. And people had a sense of direction. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Yeah. And they had things that they stood on. Yeah. And they believed in the village. And I credit all that to the scripture and the church. The structure. That's what I'm saying. So, but if you lived on the block and your dad went to church, or if they was, religious or whatever, they were considered like to be like, the goofies or whatever, like, they religious, or they, think they better than people, or that, because they don't do this, or they do that. Right. Or their kids can't really come out and play on the block that's being shot up every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
so what I'm saying is that, right. So then the kid in that household, here's what happened. He grow up either following his parents' footsteps if they are actually building a relationship, or if dad is always just gone here and mama gone and she still, you know what I'm saying? If the household really inside is jacked up, that kid gonna be led to that outside influence. And I'm gonna say this, I'm finna give you the floor back. And even in situations like that, right? Mm-hmm. This is why the village gotta be strong. Because even if the home ain't right, or even if it's as right as it possibly can be, or no better, when that kid is starting to get led astray to the things in the community, they should be positive influences there.
I get that.
So now I come out in my neighborhood, if my daddy ain't all the way right in my house, I see something better. But not in a negative way to where it's like, oh, that's the way I'm going to get money, and that's the way I'm going to be glorified, and I need to be validated because this is what the neighborhood is doing.
Nah, I get that.
All that falls on the man.
But again, this is what I say. This is why the cycle will never be broken.
Until we stand up.
No, stop. Let me. No.
You got the flow. Again, I'm going to give it to you. Go.
This is why the cycle will never be broken. Have you ever felt like as a man, you've been trying and people just ain't paying attention? Have you ever felt like you was just trying to lead and people were just not listening? Ever in your life? As a man, have you ever felt like that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So here, let me...
Yeah.
How do people... This is why I say the superhuman thing that people expect men to be is so fucking unrealistic. You mean to tell me that you can say with a straight face that there's been times that you've been trying to lead and you be like, people just not listening? Has there ever been times that you felt low and you might have just wanted to give up on certain things?
Yeah, for sure.
So again, okay, so I asked you that to say this. You can't say that and then in the same breath say it's a man's fault. Bro, you're literally not holding you're literally not holding women accountable because you've tried to lead. Hold on.
Go ahead.
It's been positions you've tried to lead. And not saying necessarily women, but different men have tried to lead. Have you, maybe necessarily not even you, have you even seen other men trying to lead and trying to do so much and they are not getting the chance?
As it relates to a woman or just lead? Because I want to make sure. Okay, so
have you ever seen a trying man trying to really be there for his kids, do for his kids, be involved, and he not really get that chance? I know I've seen it.
Here's my thing when you talk about a trying man, right?
No, answer the question, yes or no, bro. Just answer my question straight. Have you ever seen a trying man?
I don't believe in a quote-unquote trying man.
That's the problem right there. That is the problem right there. Because you're expecting men to be perfect.
That don't mean perfect.
Stop and let me...
Mature.
Bro, hold on.
Go ahead,
because what you're doing when I say certain things, you're doing a lot of what women do in these conversations. And this is what I say. When we say things as men of how we feel, we never can talk. So when we're doing that, how do you expect a man? I grew up with my mama. Mom, I need you to just listen to me. I'm your son. You're raising me. And you don't want to listen to me. You can't blame your daddy not being there, your granddad. You can't do that.
Nah.
No, so hear me out.
She don't know no better.
Stop. Yes, she do.
What if she don't?
Bro.
What if she really
This
don't
is
know
why
no
I
better?
say, this is
What
why
if she really don't
stop
know
and
no
listen to me.
Go ahead.
This is why I say you're not holding women accountable. Because if you're telling me,
I'ma share
hold on,
something
stop.
with you. Go ahead.
If you're telling me my mama didn't know no better, and I was raised with my mama, and even when my uncles tried to do certain things, she stopped that because she didn't like it. And that was needed for me. I look back at certain things and be like, my mama should have let my uncle do that. Because I needed that. Because that was the only father figure that I had.
I feel you.
But she stopped it because she didn't like it. Not because she was letting a man, which my uncle was, her baby brother, the one she called. Mm-hmm. Only reason he's in there doing what he's doing because she called him. But then she stopping him. Why? Why? Who you blaming? Accountability, bro. So no, hold on. Let me finish. At some point, you have to hold women accountable because she called her brother. Bro, I need you to step in. His daddy not here. His daddy not doing this. I need a man to be involved. You're my brother. I know you love him. I know you care about him. I need you to do this for me, bro. So he slide. He get up out the bed, whatever he doing. Pull up. He getting in me because he need to because his nephew is fucking up. Mm-hmm. And you come in there and stop that. And then he look at you and say, what you stopping me for? He needs discipline. This is what you call me for. But you going too far. And I'm looking at her like, yeah, stop him. Yeah, stop him.
I know what you're saying.
Hold on.
I done had the same situation.
No, hold on. Yeah, stop him all because I don't want to be going through it. Because the amount of pressure that he's applying, you could never apply. I'm scared as hell of my mama. And I respect the amount of pressure and force that my uncle, a man, could apply, and the understanding that a man could get across, she stopped him. Right before I look back at certain things, right before I was about to learn my damn lesson. And I look back at certain things, that she would let certain things play out. Oh, I know I would have been a little different. So hold on, just let me finish.
Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna cut you off.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because
I know what I'm.
It's the side because, like I said, this is the side where I say, as men, we have to give each other the space to talk.
Because when
I'm saying certain things about we have to hold women accountable, you're not accepting that. Oh,
go ahead.
This is what you're not accepting that like a lot of women do, and all we're trying to say is, bro, we're both human. Why don't you have to be accountable just like I have to be? That's literally all we're saying. But when we ask that question is, see, now, because men do this all the time, niggas.
I think we can hold women accountable when we start holding each other accountable. I just think it looks bad when a man tries to go hold a woman accountable when there's so many things that's fucked up about other men that we know. Yeah. So that's just my whole thing about that. So what I want to share with you is that growing up, my mom, I could probably count on both of my hands when I'm from the age of maybe 8 up to like when I moved to the zoo. So that's like 15, even beyond that. Mm-hmm. That she had conversations with me about life, about direction, about things like that. She was wrapped up into her life, right? Right. Now her dad died back, like 80 or something like that. So she was like, I think 20 or something at the time, somewhere around there. But just the way they was raised, coming from the South, it was 14 kids. So I'm pretty sure the father, and I don't know, he ain't say dad. Everybody praise their daddy. Mama, daddy was this, that. I wasn't around to see my granddaddy. I hear great things about him. But what their kids gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Not to say he was a bad man. I never met the man. But what I can say is that there is a level of within my mom, she like, man, I don't know, man. Like it was just a lot to where, you know what I'm saying? Like the communication was broken. And when I look back now, I wonder like, was they dad able to spend enough time with it? Because he had 9 daughters, man.
But bro,
was he able to pour into them? Was he able to validate his girls? Like my mom, she got pregnant as a teenager with my sister. Okay, you see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this. Let me just finish. So it's like this. Those be those daddy issues that it go back to all of us having. Your mom might have been no better. And then even when calling your uncle over there to discipline you, here's the thing. If your father was in the house, that's a big if or whatever, because we understand like that. But if there was a father around raising you or whatever, then I can't say whether she would or not have intervened because
she stopped my dad before.
But what I'm saying is that there's a relationship being built. Nobody ain't gonna ever stop me from like disciplining my child.
So you telling me you have never, neither one, like you've never had your girl or your BM or like your significant other. Nah. You've never had a
my son.
Hold on, hear me out.
Go ahead.
You've never heard her say, or even in conversation, that's too much. Or you don't have to go that far. Sometimes you go too far. No, never. No. You never heard that in no situation.
Never. Are you saying in situations? Not for me. I ain't never had that.
Okay, so have you ever heard it?
I've heard.
Have you ever heard a father trying to be a father, an active father, not just one that's just there on the
weekend? But I've seen some fathers go too far.
Now listen.
But I heard it.
Now hear me out.
Go, I'm
this
listening
is
to
why
you.
I say.
I'm listening to you.
This is why I say.
I'm with you.
You're not holding women as accountable as you're holding men.
We but we have to hold men accountable first.
To me. Stop and listen to me. When I say this is why you're not holding women as accountable, is because you're saying men got to step up, but men sometimes go too far. Come on, bro.
I didn't say that.
You just said.
Oh, you saying as far as I've seen fathers go too far? Yeah.
What is too far when the child is
beating on your son or something? That's too far.
Now listen to
beating on your daughter is too far.
Listen to me.
Yeah, you can go too far by beating on your kids.
Now listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's beating.
That's
on
what
your
I'm
kids.
saying. I've seen people go too far.
Now listen to me. Beating on your kids is different. I've also seen dads get stopped from just yelling, scolding, punishing. That's too much. You too rough. You yell at him too much. It's like, damn, that's my child too. But you want to keep stopping me as a father. You want to keep.
There's probably something going on between the parents or a situation where the mom. I don't know.
Now hear me out.
I ain't got that issue.
Now
go ahead. I don't know what that thing is.
This is what I'm saying. Every time, in the whole time we've been on here, every time I've said anything about what a woman do or what a woman does, you say, that's probably because this. That's probably because that.
It all leads back to a man.
Stop, just hear me. That's no accountability.
Show me where it leads back to a woman.
Show me when is she going to be like, you know what? I'm wrong. So you mean to tell me that a woman is never wrong?
Yeah. And that's okay for her to say that I'm wrong.
I'm asking you, when?
It's okay for her to admit they're wrong a lot. As humans, we're wrong a lot. Here's what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying so I can make it clear.
But you're saying, look, this is what you're saying. They're wrong, but it's because they had a daddy issue. But it's because of man. At the end of the day, when are you going to change the narrative? You know what you were missing as a woman. Are you going to keep raising
Do they know what they were missing, though? Because remember, healing has to take place.
Yes, this is why
everybody don't know.
Okay, but then you say on the flip side to that, you don't accept a trying man doing this and certain things. Now I'm gonna say
I don't believe in a trying man.
So you can't say. So if you don't believe in a trying man, you don't believe in a trying woman.
I believe that a man and a woman need. What is a trying woman? Because I don't believe in a trying woman. No, I don't believe in a trying person.
If you don't believe in a trying man, you can't ask me what the definition of a trying woman is. Because
I don't even know what a trying man is.
You're giving an scapegoat. Exactly. So that's what needs to be said.
Are you saying a man who's trying his best to be a man of what he knows a man is supposed to be?
To be in place, to step in place, to do what he's supposed to do. And have you seen men really try to step up and be men that have had kids and that are not with the mother anymore? Have you seen men try to be active, try to do what they're supposed to be doing, and get literally all the shit in the book?
Now, I've never seen that. Okay, I've seen that.
So, this is what I'm saying. You can't keep blaming a woman because a lot of times women know that they're doing spiteful shit, and then 20 years later down the road they be like, I know I was wrong. I was just hurt. I was just mad. Okay,
healing.
Stop.
Hurt.
Stop and listen to me. Stop and listen to me.
I'm listening.
But when a man fucks up and does some shit and say, I was hurt, I was mad. Nah, I ain't going for that because you a man. So I wasn't hurt too. I wasn't affected.
You have feelings as well. You were affected. But you caused the situation by sticking your in her. You caused that situation. A lot of things can be avoided if we don't cross that line and stick our...
Bro.
You cause this. Do you understand what I'm saying? How it all leads back to the man.
I understand that you're not.
Because the accountability part is this. Let me say this and I'll let you go back into it. The accountability part is this for adults. Because some people, men and women, don't know better. This is why people need to be whole before they get into relationships. But what I'm saying is this. How do you get whole? How do you get healed? That's when we come back to that God standard.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna put you in a whole.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna put you in a whole perspective. And this is why that conversation is like it really bothers me because this is why I love my girl so much. If it wasn't for her, I probably would still not be shit in a lot of ways. But the fact that I have a woman that actually listens and realizes that she has a man that only wants to get better, but I wasn't always shown the right way. Because there was a lot of times where my mother should have let a man be.
No, I'm listening to you. I'm going to ask you a question and miss this.
There was a lot of times a mother should have let my uncle do what he was coming to do. Or let my dad do what he was supposed to do. Or my granddad. It was a lot of times where she stopped that because she didn't like it. But this is what you called for. But then you stop it. So this is what I say sometimes. You can't keep blaming a man because I get what you're saying.
So let me ask you this. Have your woman...
She listens.
So then in some ways, she have fulfilled and filled those holes or the roles that your mom didn't. Would you agree?
Am I listening? Yes.
I'm saying whatever it is.
That makes a difference.
You're absolutely right. So what I'm saying is this. You ran into a woman, like most men, who had mommy issues or daddy issues or parental issues. And this woman who wasn't called to fill in, to continue to do what your mom did. I had that same situation. Women ain't called to do that. But if a man, hold on, let me say this. But if a man is present and he's leading, and he's showing the family how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to be a decent human, how you're supposed to have dignity, morals, self-respect, values, then we don't get that.
So you're telling me women are not supposed to listen?
Yes, women are supposed to listen. I'm not saying that.
Bro, you literally just said that's not her job.
No, it's not her job to be. It's not no woman's job to be our mothers.
I didn't.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, hold on. Stop.
I'm not saying she's not supposed to listen.
Hold on. Now hear me out.
I'm saying that whatever that aspect that we missed from our mom, listen to what I'm saying. I don't want you to miss it. Whatever that aspect is that we missed, whether it's my mom didn't hug me enough, my mom didn't listen to me, my mom was too hard on me, or my mom was too soft. Whatever that is, when we're not whole and complete, we look for that in this woman that we're with. We look to find those motherly things that we didn't get from our mom.
Bro, hold on.
That's just a fact.
Now listen, this is where I say sometimes, I agree with some of the shit you be saying, but
hey,
hold on, just hear me out, bro. Because one thing I can say is, I'm not mad at no way. We homies. We done had this conversation plenty of times.
This ain't personal.
No, I'm just saying like for the camera so people be like, oh, no, I ain't tripping. But homies get irritated with each other too. And so my irritation is, bro, the problem is, my thing is, I get everything you're saying. But at the end of the day, women are human just like men are human.
That's true.
So some women that are listening to you are never gonna fucking change because they heard another man say it ain't their fault.
And it's,
no, hold on.
Go ahead, because I got one for that.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because literally, your response is gonna be because they didn't have a man to show them this. I'm not trying to keep hearing that shit. Because are you gonna keep raising these kids in pain? Yes. That's all they're doing. And that's all you're enabling them to do.
I want to say this to any women that's listening right now. If you know that you are dealing with some issues and that you're kind of bitter or that you're broken and that's by a man, whether it's your dad wasn't always there or you had a relationship where it broke you or something like that, please heal. Please get the help that you need. The ultimate help is the word of God. The ultimate help is the love of God. But if you should need some therapy or some counseling or someone to talk to, this is for men and women, but I'm just saying to those women that he's speaking of. Because what we have to do is we have to start healing. We don't just want to have empty conversations. We want to say, well, what next and what now? So with those situations, I'm going to say this. Until we can be accountable as men towards other men and hold other men accountable, then we can't look to a woman to say, hey, you need to, because we have to start showing them the way. And those women that still want to be out there broken, bitter, and unhealed, what's going to happen is that everybody's going to find themselves in somebody in each other's lives that's playing the game, but think they don't want to play it. And that's what you see what's going on out here when it comes to dating or just life in general. It's like, I know I shouldn't be, but I'm going to do it anyway because maybe this time I'll luck up. Or maybe I'll find the one. But then when you look up, you're still running on that same wheel. So at the end of the day, heal. Heal. Because a lot of us are broken. We need that healing. And that's the real. But as far as like men, like I said from the beginning, the standard of what I see the village is, I believe that it can be done.
Bro, I get that. Now hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
And when I say this again, you gotta also listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
You know,
I'm here with you.
You're hearing me to respond in a lot of ways.
No.
Hold on, this is why I'm saying that. Because every time I say something, your first response is, but it's a man's fault. No, bro. Women know they're wrong sometimes. You have to be man enough as a man, and you wrong. You need to listen.
I didn't say
hold on.
I didn't say they were never
Stop
wrong.
No. Because a lot of times, as men, we don't tell them they wrong enough. Just like I'm saying right now, you're not telling them they're wrong enough. This is why I say you're not holding them accountable. You're saying, because what you did, again, was, to me, a Derrick Jackson move. Women, you have to heal. No, fuck that. You're wrong. Grow up. Kevin Samuel was some shit. Hold on. It's like this. For me, it's this, bro. Where I say you have to hold women accountable, sometimes women need to hear the harsh. Because I literally had my woman tell me to her face, it was hard for her to let me be who I needed her, be who she was asking me to be. But in conversation, when she actually started to listen to me, she started to see that. But then you're telling me, well, you looking for her, what you looking for your mama?
Was she a healed woman?
Hold on, stop.
Was she a healed woman?
Stop and
keep talking.
No.
She wasn't?
Don't ask, this is what I'm saying.
Keep talking, all right, keep going.
But no, hold on, I want to say, this is why I'm saying, don't ask me a question and expect me to answer that, because this is why I say it's enabling a lot of women. She knew that she was hurt, but she couldn't keep projecting that pain from the last man to the next. She saw that eventually. At the beginning, she didn't. And we used to get into it a lot. We still butt heads sometimes. That's just life. We ain't always gonna agree.
That's the normal.
But now we're able to sit there and talk about it. Because now she's understanding, you know what? A man needs to be heard just like me. Because all it is sometimes is, because just like the world knows, women know this just like men know this. Women will come to men with a problem. We're looking for the solution. Because we're expected to move on, right? We're expected to endure and keep moving, right? That's the expectations of a man, even from a man to a man. That's just the real. And I feel like we can agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, on just some, not
yeah,
even
no,
like
no, that's for sure.
On some
yeah.
man shit, like, bro, you just gotta go. You gotta go.
No, I know what you're saying.
So, like, on some bro shit, we understand that as a man, you gotta move on. But sometimes as a man, it's hard to move on when all you wanted to say was, babe, look, let's try it like this. If it don't work, we're gonna do it your way. But let's just try it this way one time. But a lot of times, when no, I just do this. She started to realize, let's just try it like this. And then she was like, you know what? That actually worked. I know, man, because I did this before. But sometimes you be so blocked and no one, because you so used to doing it on your own You don't have to do that no more. Why are you with me? If you feel like you're going to have to keep saying, I'm so used to it. So I get it. Heal. But at the end of the day, you have to grow up. You're wrong. You knew you wasn't healed. So you can't keep saying you can't keep enabling them to say heal. You can't like.
But what has life taught us? What does the man do? The man goes here, they're healed or not, right? So at the end of the day, let me say this: if we go out there and we go to every street and we chop it up, chop up the concrete, and we just turn all the roads into rocky roads, right? And we take chunks and pieces out of the roads, it'll be hard to drive. It'll be hard to maneuver through. It'll be hard to get through, right? It's going to be bumpy because there's missing components, okay? When you're missing that father, that man, because I can guarantee you that even if you talk to your woman, man, it's so prevalent in the black community. There's only some fathers that was present, and you see that in women. And sometimes
we've had them conversations,
right?
And again, I know that's why a lot of women are blocked in a lot of ways, and we've had that conversation. But if a lot of women are not willing to have that conversation, they're never going to grow. So this is why I say they have to be just as accountable.
But
because hold on, this is the reality. We know that they didn't have fathers. They know that some of them know they didn't have fathers. They know what they were missing from.
They don't recognize it.
Listen, hold on. You can't say that. You can't say that because if we recognize it, they recognize it. They know they didn't have their father active. Just like we can sit here and say, we knew our pops, but they wasn't always there every day. Everything that we saw for them wasn't right. We can't say.
So let me ask you this. Do you think a woman shake her ass on the internet and get off the internet and be crying in her bed as her OnlyFans account or bank account is going up? You think she be crying about not having a father or something like that?
I don't know what they think about.
I'm just saying. I don't know what they think about neither, but I'm saying I can only imagine that maybe, like, you know what I'm saying, she getting paid like shit. I'm going back on the internet tomorrow to show my ass again.
You know why I say that? Because when a lot of these girls be on these interviews, they be on there talking that shit like it don't bother them. So
that's because men made it cool.
Hear me out. Listen, bro. Listen.
Go ahead.
This is why I say accountability is not equal and not being set on the side. Because all you're doing is because a lot of women know that this is all certain men want, but then they do it anyway.
They gonna be the ones jacked up in it.
Okay, but whose fault is that? That's not a man's fault. They made a decision.
That'll be their fault. That'll be their fault.
Hold people accountable
their
for
fault.
their decision.
Listen, it'll be their fault, but ultimately it's because of a man. It's their fault, but somewhere in there, remember, it's a man that failed them.
Okay, so listen.
So we can't get around that. Tell me how. There's no way around it.
I get what you're saying. Again, I'm gonna say I get what you're saying, but when you say, but it's a man's fault, that literally is enabling so many fucking women to be like, you're right. No. You're right. That wasn't my decision. I had to do that. And the fuck you didn't. You knew you could have went and got a job. We all know damn well the temp service is hiring.
What if she looks at it and says, you're right, I was missing that man. I need to go and figure out the parts of me that was missing a man so that when another man approaches me, I'm not necessarily pushing that man away or not allowing him in because I'm welcoming a man.
Again, I'm going to go back to the best example I have for you. My woman knew that she was missing certain things and knew that she was blocking certain things because of what she didn't have from a man. And she knew if she didn't let it happen, she was never going to get it.
That'd be that motion trauma. That'd be that trauma and motion. You know, like if I come out of a relationship, come in a new relationship with luggage and baggage.
Hold on. Jimmy out.
Yeah.
Again, I get it. I'm going to keep saying it because I'm not looking for you to agree with everything I'm saying at all. And for nobody. I'm not looking for you to always be right.
Yeah.
But accountability is not equal because when women know they're wrong, they're looking for a man to say, you ain't done nothing wrong. It ain't your fault. Hold on.
They shouldn't be.
But you're doing it for him.
No.
That's why, hold on. That's why Derek Jackson was every woman's favorite man and Kevin Samuel was every woman's fucking victim.
But Derek wasn't talking
When Derek Jackson got exposed, you can hear the birds. You can hear a pin drop.
To me, I felt like he was trying to.
When Derek Jackson got exposed,
he said some good stuff though about dating and stuff. That's what I felt like he was a dating dude.
Hold on, bro. When Derek Jackson got exposed, you can hear a number 2 pencil drop on carpet. Plush carpet. When Kevin Samuels died, the world went crazy. Yeah, women hating. Why every time a man speak on how he feel, he hate women?
But let me tell you what that situation was. Both of those guys, I think were categorized, and I'm gonna say is like relationship dating. Like Derek wasn't even related. He was like a woman. This is the type of man you need, or this is what the man you don't need. And Kevin was trying to help
affairs on
both.
His wife.
Right, and Kevin was trying to help both of the people. But what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying about it has nothing to do with relationships.
No.
This is all about community.
And what I said in the live before. People put so much emphasis on relationships, thinking that it's just man and woman. When we have a relationship as brothers, I've been knowing you for 10 plus years, bro. We done built a bond. That's a relationship between people.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. It is relationships. The world, everybody.
That's
you know,
true.
This is a relationship you build. If you call somebody your friend, family, that's a relationship you build.
That's true.
It ain't always just man and woman. But a lot of times people only put the emphasis towards that. What I'm saying is in our relationships, even as men sometimes, we don't even hold our sisters accountable. We enable them. Sis, that nigga.
Nah.
Hold on, no.
Stop. I definitely hold my homegirls accountable.
Hold on, bro. I'm going to tell you like this.
I promise you.
Look, and I'm going to say it like this.
I promise you
Before we got to get out of it, I'm going to say it like this. I wholeheartedly don't feel like you hold them as accountable because you're literally saying to me, but they only do this because of a man. I don't feel like you can hold them equally accountable.
So let me say this before we get out of this. See, the people that I have that I call my sisters, they're mature women who are not looking to blame a man. They're not looking to blame a man. But when I talk to them, I can say, hey man, this is probably that or whatever. They understand, but they're not walking away saying like, yeah, I need to blame a man. They're understanding like, dang, I missed that in a man.
But
so how do I not miss that?
But what I'm saying is, I'm saying this though. Even though they listen to you and they have the understanding, sometimes they're still wrong, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they do things wrong, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I can hold them accountable because them my people.
So boom. So this is what I'm saying. You can hold them accountable because the relationship you build, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't look at them and say the only reason y'all had a relationship is because they was missing something from their mom. No, that's a relationship y'all built and y'all got that trust in each other that y'all trying to lead each other the right way.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with me and my girl. We want to see the best for each other. So she listens. Because I can tell you right now, we can break up tomorrow. I give so much of a fuck about her and what she got going on in life and the kids. I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna counsel her to find the right man. If we was ever, because I want her to be happy.
Yeah.
But once you find it, don't think we talking about this shit and how to.
I feel
hell no. I'll get you to the promised land, baby. You got to drink on your own.
I feel you, man.
You see what I'm saying? Because I want you to be happy. But if it don't work out,
that's genuine love.
You see what
that's
I'm saying?
Genuine love.
So my thing is, what I'm saying is, she understood past the relationship as a boyfriend girlfriend. She had to listen to understanding that I'm a man, and as a man, I want the best. So you got to look outside the title. And we're like, this is a man.
Yeah.
And I want a man to be a man, and this man wants to be a man. I got to get the fuck out the way. And at some point, why I say they have to be accountable, because why I can say my girlfriend is accountable, because she knows sometimes when she goes overboard and doesn't let me be the man in the situation. And we've had those conversations, and I'll be like, babe, I get it, though. And sometimes that's all I want to be able to say. I get why you did it. But let me do it. Because at the end of the day, we're called to be the protectors, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes women will go so overboard. I done been in situations where my sisters and cousins called me and they was wronged in the mug, but they done started some shit and then they call her and then now we got to come through. We ain't asking questions. We ain't talking. We finna come through and ride and now we figure out you started it.
But those behaviors that was exhibited is because a man allowed it to happen in the
But a
first
lot of
place,
times
and it picked up.
But
if a man would have checked the woman wild behavior in the beginning, that ain't how you supposed to act.
A lot of times,
that would have never trickled down.
How many times you done roll from your family and they said nothing to the woman after you just be like, this motherfucker got us in some shit. And just be like, you know what, fuck it.
Remember, but
we don't hold our own.
It's trained behavior. That,
so again, our own sometimes don't let us hold them accountable, right? So sometimes as men, we just be like, our own don't listen to us. Why am I gonna keep trying to talk to everybody else? You know what I'm saying? But you know, we can wrap this one up.
Yeah, for sure,
because,
man. You know what
like
I'm saying?
I said, at the end of the day, it's understanding on both sides. I get what you're saying. I know you get what I'm saying. Because we've had these conversations before. Yeah. So it's just about, first, men, we have to create that space for each other. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Yeah. So essentially, we're starting what needs to happen. Yeah. The conversation needs to happen. But at the end of the day, our women need to be able to hear our voices the way that they say they want to hear our voices.
But we have to be consistent in that that role. So then they're, like
they have to want that.
They do.
No.
They do. No, but they've seen the flip side of the coin so much they think that's just what's out here.
I'm gonna tell you like this because on the live, the lady I pulled on last time, she's admitted that sometimes she ain't trying to hear that shit.
That's because that's how she was conditioned.
No, listen. Okay. She literally said that's because she just wasn't hearing. And it's not because she's even said she's watched her father try to do things that her mom would shut that down. And he's trying. And he was a good...
You see what I said? Condition.
But again, you can't keep blaming a man for that because she saw when her father tried. And I'm going to wait for her to come on. But again, she said she saw when her father tried and her mother wasn't trying to hear it. But yet, she went to when it come time for the bill, she go to him. But then when it's time to be parents, sometimes women are overbearing even when they know they have a good man. Because again, sometimes we say, even with men.
Trained. It's trained.
So if you give the women that, you have to give the men the same thing.
The same thing as far as what?
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
So again,
that's why we have to teach something new.
So again, if it's for everybody, accountability has to be for everybody.
Accountability is for everybody. It is for everybody.
Without reverting back to what a man hasn't done. Because again, when...
Is it a fact?
When are you going... This is also a fact. When are you going to break the cycle from what you know?
That's what we're doing.
We're doing it. Are some women doing it? Because again, you have...
The cycle was broken by us.
You have some women out there that are overbearing and don't want to listen because they want to keep it going back to the...
And once the men show up, the real men, they have no choice but to fall in line.
Okay.
And I don't mean that in a bad thing. I mean like fall in line, like to where they supposed to, be.
A lot of times fall in the line for some women is conditional for what you can do at the moment.
No, I don't think so. Because they want to be led. Even a boss woman, even a leader woman, because women are leaders and bosses. You want to be led.
Yeah, I understand. We're going to pick up on part 2 because I want to be able to bring a couple females.
Yeah, that's for sure. We definitely want to get some women in.
A couple women on that may have different opinions. So I want to open it up.
Oh yeah,
because I don't want it just to be because a lot of women be like,
listen,
I didn't give women.
We can even open it up. If you're a woman and you out there and you want to come, you know what I'm saying, and get in the living room, just go ahead and DM one of us. We can get it set up. This has been a great discussion, man. I know you got to get up out of here, and I appreciate you stopping by, man. I appreciate us. Go ahead and chopping it up. You know what I'm saying?
It's always love.
Man, it's love, man.
We need to create the safe space for each other.
For sure, man. And you keep up the good work, man.
And as men, fellas, we got to understand that we all have emotion. We all, especially when you care.
That's a human thing.
It's a human thing.
Human emotions are universal.
Just because our voices might go up and down don't mean we mad, don't mean we argue, don't get that emotion out. once men create the safe space for each other to get that emotion out, we'll understand what emotion really look like.
That's for sure.
And that's why we can have octave change and be like,
that's for sure.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
nah,
I don't, you know, they, like, he ain't tripping, I ain't tripping, no.
For
Because
sure.
it's an understanding of, man, this man got to get this out, and I'm going to let him get it out because he need this space.
For sure.
He ain't mad. He's speaking from a man's perspective, how he feel. And so, again, we need to create that space for each other. So, in part 2, I definitely want to try to see if we can bring a couple.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna definitely get some women on.
Definitely.
And before you go, man, shout out your fitness, you know what I'm saying, your trainer. If y'all need a personal trainer, y'all can DM this brother, man. If you're his friend on Facebook, you see him be on there doing his thing. He be dropping his videos, it's real. Go ahead, let him know, man.
It's train, like the word train, the number 2, _game fitness. That's on Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube. So yeah, train, the number 2, _game fitness.
And what can they find you on Facebook, man?
On Facebook, you can find me at that or at Marcus Anderson, preferably on the Train the Game site if you have any questions. Because I ain't gonna lie, sometimes my fitness stuff that come to my personal DMs kind of get overlooked because I try to keep my business separate, so I focus on business. So please write me on that, but if you do write me on the Marcus page, I will do my best to respond.
Hey, well, hey, man, we wrapped it up here. I appreciate you, like I said, from stopping by. I appreciate you all for tuning in for this segment of In the Living Room. I am Eli the Voice, Eli. I'll have a good one, man. Get out my boy, and we'll see you next time in the living room.